Hello there, hope you managed to view my first video which provided my top 5 procurement tips. Also thanks to those of you that provided feedback. So this next video focuses on negotiation. This is bound to help you when you prepare for your next negotiation to secure goods and services for your business. Now there's no magic formula for negotiating. Some people are naturally adept at dealing with the pressures of a negotiation scenario, whereas others need to work at it. So, what is a negotiation? Well, it's really no different to gambling. You have your hand of cards, you need to assess your position, and then you need to make a play for it. So, for those of you who feel a bit uncomfortable making on-the-spot decisions, you may want to practice some scenarios with your colleagues. Negotiation requires careful planning, reviewing, and often readjusting your position and your tactics to achieve your goals. So in procurement, negotiation is commonly used to secure the best commercial outcome for the business. Although let's remember that the commercials are just one aspect of your negotiation. There's many other things that can be incorporated. It's also worth mentioning that not many negotiations will follow the most obvious path, so always expect the unexpected. So when should we negotiate? Well, we need to be sure of when it's best to negotiate, so we've got to weigh up the cost against the expected benefit. Now, discuss this with your team and balance the time, resource, and any other cost that you can identify against the benefit. If you have high quality data available, it's sometimes easy to predict those benefits, though often you'll have to take a few risks. Now remember that most big successful businesses will have taken a number of risks to get where they are today, so don't be put off by this. Your decision to negotiate should carefully consider all of the possible outcomes, some of which could have a negative impact on your business if you fail to negotiate a sufficient benefit. So be very wary and get it right. Consider the market conditions and any known trends. Now, if you don't feel capable of achieving your goals, then stop. Next is preparation and planning. As there's a risk involved with negotiating, you can influence the level of risk by preparing properly and having a robust plan. This allows you the flexibility to adapt to the changing scenarios that you may encounter. Always start by making sure the correct people are involved from both sides. Decision makers must be present, otherwise you'll end up holding multiple meetings, and this can often change the outcome, plus weaken your position. Now, if the people attending can't commit to the outcome, then just simply delay until the correct people are available, because you're wasting your time. So now you have the correct people involved, you need to set your objectives and secure information. Research your own business capabilities in the category you're negotiating, and search for people internally with relevant experience that may be able to add value to your negotiation activities. Also get online and research the other party, and this might help you strengthen your position. Check their LinkedIn profiles, their customer base, the marketing strategies, search for any sales info and performance related data. It always helps to be familiar with the person sitting across the table and the business that they are representing. Next, try and map out possible scenarios. What if they accept your offer quickly? Do you push for more? Are there add-ons that we could push for as part of this deal? What's your fallback position if they can clearly demonstrate that the offer on the table simply isn't sustainable for them? Is there anything they perceive as low value that holds a great deal more value to your business? Having these scenarios considered up front means that you aren't as likely to freeze when they throw a curveball your way. Always be prepared. Also, don't forget to be prepared to walk away, because you don't have to agree anything, and if negotiations aren't going to plan, sometimes it's better to regroup. If you're part of a team that's going to negotiate, then it can become very difficult to coordinate if your team isn't aligned on the meeting strategy. So take plenty of time, practice your negotiations together, and be very, very clear about the roles and responsibilities of that team. Never undermine one another and back each other up when necessary. If you fail to do this, the negotiation can become very disjointed and put your team on the back foot. So agree the information you're willing to share and how you will achieve your objectives with your team. Okay, so now you're prepared, how do you manage and influence the meeting itself? Try to research the people who will be present, as you might reveal a work-related link or some other angle for discussion if you need to take it. When you begin, ensure all the attendees are present and if possible take a lead in a positive manner. This isn't always appropriate, but a strong confident start will often dictate the pace and the atmosphere of the negotiations, and better that you set that. Try to read the members of the other party during the introductions. You'll often find that people give a lot away in their efforts to control the room. Now, when talking, be very clear and know that it's okay to repeat certain comments on specific subjects to stress their importance. Read expressions when asking questions and never be afraid to ask if they've fully understood you. Allow them time to respond to questions properly. Also, show patience when listening to their answers. Now, quite possibly you may disagree strongly with what they're saying. They let them talk, take your time, and use that time to consider your responses very carefully. Also, try to summarise at the end of each negotiation point, as this should help you to avoid any misinterpretation. Avoid accepting an early offer without probing further. There's often a reason for every decision, so ask questions that could reveal the justifications for the choices they've made. If you do eventually concede a negotiation point to progress the meeting, then always look to secure something else to keep the deal viable for your business. But be very wary of revealing too much information too early during the negotiation. You may have a couple of pieces of information you want to keep back in reserve, just in case you need that extra leverage. Now, suppliers often ask for a budget, which shouldn't be shared. You may already have comparative quotes, so use your judgment to decide whether you've got enough information to push harder. The outcome needs to be beneficial for both parties. So if either side pushes too hard, the deal won't be sustainable, which doesn't bode well if you're looking to build a long-term partnership. Achieving the correct balance isn't easy, but eventually experience will enable you to know when you've secured a good deal. So in some circumstances, suppliers have been known to offer open book pricing, which due to the transparency enables you to gain a much better understanding of how good the deal is. Always remain calm and don't be pressured into making decisions due to special circumstances or any time constraints. You can respond after the meeting should you wish, and can even ask for time on the day to speak with your team privately. When you do reach an outcome, always document and share the results so that both parties have a copy of the terms and commercials agreed so that they can refer to them. So next, I'll outline some typical errors that get made during negotiations. And the first one is giving away the advantage by being too transparent and open with your data. Negotiation requires the ability to know when to share and when to guard, so don't reveal anything that weakens your position. If you advise suppliers on their competitors, your preferences or any restrictions, this can guide them on where to pitch their initial offer. When being asked the question, ask yourself, what are they trying to reveal? If unsure about revealing the answer, then push back with your own counter question to give you more time to decide. So practice avoiding straight answers. Our natural reaction is to answer a question, but with practice we can avoid committing and deflect them if necessary. Some typical examples of this might be, we understand your incumbent's expensive, or can we have your budget to ensure we meet your expectations, or have you tested the market price, who else has submitted a proposal. If you need to delay your responses to a later date, make sure that you're in charge of communications and don't allow anyone else in your business with a relationship to influence the outcome. Also, by accepting some minor terms, the other party can influence you. Don't accept anything till you're fully aware of what the full proposal consists of. You may start with a quick win and be lulled into a sense of complacency. We achieved our top goal, let's relax. Then you give away something of great importance to the other party and lose your leverage. So don't get too relaxed and only ever accept what you need. Salespeople will always push for something extra, not content that you have agreed to the purchase. They will often try and sweeten the deal by extending the term, adding services that were not in your original scope. Consider the total cost and don't allow any additions to impact the outcome. What was seen as a good deal can quickly change if you don't hold your position. Before the meeting, you should have agreed what's in scope, so consider the following. Is the term fixed? And if we change the length of the term, is there a benefit? Are there any minimum order values or quantities? Does this proposal include delivery? Do we receive training? Does this include maintenance? Do we include consumables, or do we have a better deal ourselves? Ensure that you've secured a deal that meets the business requirements. If you've missed something, it's okay to accept the core terms of your negotiations and respond later on any additions. Now, you must try and ensure that you haven't missed any hidden costs that will impact the value that you've been trying to achieve during these negotiations on your purchase. So to summarise, now your strategy is clear and you have a feel for the different types of scenarios that could possibly occur. Practice them again and be confident in your decisions. Your roles and responsibilities are already mapped out and you're in full control if you're part of a team. You also know your fallback position if required and you know what your goals are. Remember that emotions are okay to apply. Passion's good to add to your discussions, but don't let them ruin your judgment. Keep things as simple as possible and don't lose track of your objectives. Apply logic if it makes sense to do so, and don't be too transparent with your information. You'll need to be prepared to compromise if it helps you achieve your goals, but only at a predetermined cost to your business. Never make blind commitments and take your time. Finally, remember to stop, take a drink of water if you need to, just slow things down. You're not going to be bullied by anyone, so only accept if the offer meets your terms. Now, good luck with your goals. Please let me know how you get on and share your success. Contact me at neilhudson@theprocurementman.com and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Keep an eye out for future videos and feel free to make any suggestions for future content. I'll leave you with a list of negotiation points that you may choose to be flexible on to achieve your goals. Goodbye.